Arrington,
Oh, stop it.
what a pleasure to see you on this place.
Thank you, Carl. I'm so sad that you're dead.
I'm dead.
We all are. We're in mourning.
Yeah. So for y'all that don't know, I actually take Mr. Carl Gilliard's class here in Atlanta. If you're in ATL, you need to take his class. He's the best. Brother Minister and Rio don't have many scenes together, but I will say, for those that don't know, through the pandemic, we had to be quarantined while filming the last few seasons. And so this past season, and they put us, BT, which shout out to BT and Tridestin, they put us in really nice homes
Mhm.
while but we can't go nowhere, guys. Like literally, it's like prison palace. You can't go nowhere. And so this past season, I had the pleasure of staying with Carl, and we got really close and talked. And so it's just been a pleasure to know you. I mean, this man has over 100 credits, y'all. Do your research. He has done so much, and I've learned so much from him. So personally and professionally. So
Yeah.
thank you, Carl.
It's
Been a
the
pleasure.
honor is mine to know you, sir. When I'm around you, I feel younger.
I love it. I love it.
So cute. I love this. I love this. Listen, again, Arrington, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with us. And hopefully you'll come back to see us, when we go into the next season, season 6, and we'll get to chop it up some more. We're going to keep manifesting more of these Rio, okay? Because we need more Rio. We need more looks. We need
More
more
Rio.
of that.
More Rio. Yes.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank
All of you
you.
ladies. I appreciate you. Bye, Carl.
See you,
Bye,
Arrington.
Ray.
Have a good one.
All right.
All righty, Mr. Carl Gilliard, y'all, is in the building. Listen,
Hi.
I'm so sad that you're gone. Like, I'm telling you, like, I was really hurt that they took Brother Minister out because I couldn't figure out how they could do it. Like, I literally was like, there is no way. This is Brother Minister. Like, this is Brother Minister, Assassin's Guild.
I want to ask you a question because you're the authority on the books. Did he die in the books anywhere?
Well, I try not to give too many spoilers on the book.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just
in
wondered.
the thing, but in there's the book Nevada's book.
Yes.
So in Nevada's book, Brother Minister he hangs out in that book, and I'm not gonna say if he go, but he does hang out in there.
Okay.
He might have went to the upper room.
No, I don't want you to give away nothing. I just was curious about that.
Yeah, you gotta go read what's it called? The Miseducation, the Education of
Nevada. Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I love that one too. But let me get you on this other side so we can see you. Hold on, let me fix these screens. Okay. So how have you been, first and foremost?
Oh, I'm great. I'm back in Atlanta. I did a little bit of the tour with the people, mainly through the southern cities, Atlanta and North Carolina. And then I was in Detroit last week. Yeah, it was this week. It was Tuesday. And auditioning and trying to get another job because I don't have a job right now.
Oh, listen.
Hey, the life of an actor. This is what I signed up for. It's not, people. In fact, when I found out that I was going to be killed off, Carl Weber calls me, and usually before the season, he always calls us and lets us know what's kind of up generally. And he did let me know what was happening. And then when I read it, I read all 10 scripts. And I got to the part where I died in episode 8. And I said, okay. I really liked the way they did it, actually. It left an imprint, on the show where my character will live on without my presence for a while, I believe. And that's really cool. So I'm really good with that.
Absolutely. I think you're 100% right. I feel like we're about to see like this whole revenge thing really take a life of its own. And it's because you're so connected to all of these characters. Mm-hmm. I have one question for you, and then I'm going to let the ladies ask you some questions. And this is a real petty question because I really feel like I need to know for myself your take on it. Did Brother Minister actually turn against the Duncans?
No. No,
he was just infiltrating. See,
no. Yeah. I actually, someone else asked me that. And the great thing about being an actor, you get a script, you can, carve out what your objectives are, what you want and what you think you're doing. So in my mind, it was always about getting information. And when I saw that it was going left with this killing of Ruby thing, I went right to Junior, who I've known all his life. I've known him all his life. And I grew. I didn't help raise Junior, but I've known his parents since before he was around, or right at least when he may have been a baby. So we're close, and I thought that I would have some influence over Junior in that conversation we had. If you remember in the episode, I forgot what episode it was, and it did not fly. And at that point, I knew I had to get back and let LC know what was going on.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. Ladies, what kind of questions do you have for Mr. Carl here? Tico, I start with you, then Erica V, and Tamika, and then Candy.
Listen, so at the end of the day, just like all of y'all from family business, we're related. Like we're family, period. But
Yes.
I just want to know, you have an very extensive career. You're also an instructor. You teach other people the craft. So tell us a little bit about what it is that you do to help educate others that want to get into the entertainment industry.
Well, I've been in it for a long time, and I never thought that I'd be doing what I'm doing now. But a lot of people, fed into me, and they taught me, and I'm just kind of paying it forward. But I think the main thing in terms of what I talk about is your own humanity. You have to know who you are and take inventory of every single emotional thing you've gone through, every single incident, and not really the incident from an incidental perspective, but how it made you feel. Know who you are. An actor's best tool is your own humanity, and then secondarily observing humanity around you and bringing that to the work. So that's what I teach primarily, and I have a couple of books that I recommend that the actors read, and then we also talk about the business and how to handle yourself and how to have longevity, have a life outside the business. Because if you just focus in on just this, you will burn out and whew, quickly, real quickly, because it's a lovely business. It's a noble business, and I love doing it, but it will eat you alive if you take it too seriously. So we talk about that as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that.
Hmm.
Erica V.
Yes, kudos on just a brilliant job over the course of these 5 seasons.
Thank you.
What do you anticipate, if you can share, or if you have thought ahead, for Brother Elijah's character kind of like stepping into your shoes, not only to avenge you, but also I'm anticipating him leading the organization. How do you think that that's going to shape out?
Yeah, everything that I would tell you will be speculative. But it appears, in my view, that Elijah's leadership of the brotherhood will be slightly different than the way that I led it, and it'll be sharply influenced by the loss of Sasha and then the loss of me. It's going to make him a little bit more edgier, I think, because before even though he was edgy, he had a bit of an innocence to him. I think now the innocence is going to be like worn off. We're going to see a very clear, um, almost kind of a dangerous Elijah. That's just my take. I don't know what Carl Werb is doing, but I
I
do think that he's going to become a much more integral part of the show too. That's my take, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
and I'm excited to see it. Thank you.
Hmm.
Tamika.
First, I want to say that I definitely enjoyed Brother Minister. I did not think he was going to get taken out, and by Donna, no less. I feel like he deserved better. The church was definitely in mourning. I just was wondering, like you was talking about, how this business can be. So, like, what are some things that you do to kind of relax, release, take time off for yourself?
Mhm. Well, I'm married, number one. So, when you got a wife you're dealing with, that kind of can give you a little balance when you come home from the set.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, not in this order, but I'm also a believing devout Christian. So, that is my balancing board. Even when I
Yes.
have to go to some sort of dark places in the roles that I do, then that's my centering pieces, whether it's praise music or whether it's a word or a devotional or whatever that I keep in my bag, whatever, that's what I use,
Okay.
So that's it, and then, when bad things happen in your life or things that you weren't expecting, just don't take it that seriously. Don't go down so low where you can't come back. And at the same time, when things are going well, it's like great, but don't go so high either. You
Mhm.
know, it's just don't take yourself so seriously. I guess that's my take. That's what I do. But
Thank
everybody
you.
has their own thing.
Absolutely. Candy?
Yes. Erica Vane had my question as well. My question was about Brother Elijah. So I'm sorry. Hi, Brother Minister. Hi, Mr. Carl. I met you back in Columbia maybe like 2 weeks ago.
Yes, I remember you. I
Yeah,
remember you, even though
I was
the box is a little small, but I do
yes,
remember you.
yes. I told you I loved you and I enjoyed you on the show, and I
Thank you.
was I was sad to see you leave, but I told you I didn't think you were gone now.
Mhm.
I didn't think you were gone. But I did enjoy you on the show.
Thank
And
you.
what okay, so we can't tell anything. Do you think like Nefertiti will come and do something? Will she become more a part of the cast?
I here again, Carl Weber talks to me. In fact, he and I are frat brothers.
Okay.
And so when we were doing the tour in the South, I actually rode in the car with Carl Weber. He and I rode in the front seat, just talking the whole time in the car. Great brother, but he ain't telling me nothing. Um, I expect Nefertiti to come back.
Okay.
I don't see how, just logically, how she does not come back after what
Okay.
happened.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something else. With all of the brouhaha about Sasha not coming back, and not to say that Sasha can be replaced, but the Nefertiti character is Sasha-like. So I can see Carl saying, "This is just me," because I'm also a producer.
Mm-hmm.
So I think along those lines, and I know the show inside and out, and I know all the characters. So it makes, and I'm also a fan of the show. So it makes sense for them to bring her back because she could fill kind of the Sasha void because she's an assassin. She's sexy. She's kind of, into her thing. She and Curtis has a thing, and she and, Orlando had a thing. So she gets around a bit. I can see her kind of filling that void. This is kind of my thinking. And she's got a mission to deal with
Okay.
who took out her dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
And
one
she
more
seems
question.
so
I'm
bored
sorry.
with married life.
Hmm?
She also seems so bored with like married life. So
Well,
that's something
they never really pursued the married thing with her. It's just like it kind of went away. Didn't you notice that? It just kind of went away. But you know why it went away, I think? Do you know the guy that played that role is, what's her name's ex-husband?
Who?
The singer, Britney Spears.
I
Oh,
didn't know
yeah.
that.
Okay.
The gentleman who played, I can't remember his name right now, but the gentleman who played her,
Kevin Federline.
no,
Kevin
no,
Federline.
no,
Other
No,
guy.
the
that's the
other.
old,
Okay. Oh, yeah.
the
I
more
mean, yeah.
recent
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Right.
Okay, the one he played in Family Business for 2 seasons. I actually had scenes with him. He's the
Ooh.
one who we set up to marry Nefertiti. He was
Yeah.
married to Britney Spears. They're getting a divorce. They're only married for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know who he was. I know his name in the show, but I didn't know what his real name
What's
was.
the name of the show again? I can't remember.
Armin or something like that.
Armin, yes.
Yeah.
So
And I have
yeah,
one more question. How did you feel when Lisa Ray had to put a blicky on you directly in your face? Like, what was the conversation before that took place? Like, I just want to know. Like, she's standing in your face about to take you out. What was the conversation?
we didn't really talk about it.
Okay.
Every actor has their method or their style of how they approach scenes, and sometimes you talk about it, and sometimes you don't. We really didn't talk about that. I had a good time with Lisa Ray. I've known her for a long time. Hadn't seen her and worked with her like this, but she and I had an acting class back in 1997 together.
Okay.
And so I've known her for a little while, and she's great to work with. But we didn't talk about it. I just kind of had my thing that I was going to do. I knew how I was going to deal with her putting a gun in my face, and we just did our thing. I don't know.
Okay.
I prepped. I knew what I was going to do.
He was gonna fall out.
No, it was more than that.
Well,
It
yeah,
was more than that,
yeah.
because the thing with me was, okay, and this is kind of the conversation I had with myself in terms of prepping the scene. Is he going to be really scared that he's going to die, or is he going to face it with courage?
Mhm.
So there was a decision. I'm going to face it with courage. And I think that that is in line with who he is.
Yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Thank you, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Can I say
Yeah.
one more thing? So Erica
Yes, sir.
Vane, I see you there, right? You crack me up. You crack me up.
I'm embarrassed.
My wife and I watched one of your. No, it was the breakdown of these season finale. It was yesterday, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, I was rolling. I was
Thank
rolling. You are
I'm glad to-
hilarious. You need to be doing stand up. Okay, I'm done. I had to say that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she go in on everybody.
Yeah, she go in. She go in. It's
I
funny.
do.
Yeah.
He got me up here, and I'm looking at Rio like,
What did I say? What did I say? Oh, no. It's hilarious. That is some. But you were always pretty nice to me, thank God. You was, pretty nice to me.
the
You
brotherhood. Y'all
killing
do for
Junior.
me.
You killing poor Junior. Oh, he been.
Oh, yeah, Junior, it's a wrap. It's a wrap until season 12, at least.
Yeah, hilarious. Sean Ringgold, I wish you could get him on because Sean is the salt of the earth. He's one of my on the show, one of my best friends on the show. Sean and I are like this, and he's a brilliant. I thought he did an amazing job this season. He had a lot of.
Yes, he's so dropped in.
Yeah, he had a lot to play. Okay, in this season, and he and I won't say that I coached him, but we certainly spent some time going over some of the beats and how to play this vulnerable character versus this hardcore thing and how to be able to transition from this to that. And I told him, I called him on Wednesday after I saw the finale. I said, brother, you played every one of those beats like truthfully. And it's rare as an actor to have that level of different motivations and emotional changes in one episode of television. It was just incredible. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah,
Absolutely. He did a really good job. You need to put in a good word for me because I can only send him one message.
That's funny. I'll ask him. I'm gonna ask him.
Listen, put in a good word for me. But listen, we appreciate you coming through so much. I do have one last question for you before I let you get up out of here. If you had to give any advice to anyone who was trying to get into acting, being that you are a teacher and that you've been in this game for such a long time, if you had to give any advice to anyone out there, what would you say to them for someone that was trying to enter in this business, no matter what age they are, or do you even think that there's an age where you shouldn't even try to be, like you shouldn't go into it, but just kind of give us your take.
Well, I think that if you really want to do it, you got to do it. And don't give yourself a deadline. It's okay to have goals and to set goals for yourself. But don't give yourself a deadline because this, in my opinion, is a long distance run and a lifelong pursuit. And those who don't see it that way don't make it, period. And it's not what you think it is either. For the most part, And then there's some people who I've seen people over the years that I've been blessed to meet a lot of people over the years. Some of them are very, very big. And I knew them when they weren't so big. And some people have had some pretty lucky breaks, without much of a due payment, but very few happens like that. Most of the people that in this business that you love, they spend a lot of time grinding before they hit,
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, here's the last thing.
Mhm.
You don't compare yourself to somebody else. So you could be in acting class with someone and then you look up and they've got a TV show and then you're looking over at them thinking, oh my God, I'm jealous or I'll never get my shot. You can't compare yourself to anybody else. If I did that, I would have quit, 15 years ago. You can't do that.
Gotcha. That's great advice. That's good advice. So that's really, really good advice. So again, we appreciate you. We thank you for taking the time out and come and speak with us. We have definitely enjoyed seeing your character. Like I said, I love the character. I was so sad. I was really, really sad. But I did give you the business at one time when I thought you had flip sides. But I apologize. I apologized immediately afterwards.
You guys, I'm gonna tell you, this show has the best fans. You guys take your family business very seriously. And I love that. I appreciate it. It has blessed me. So thank you for having me on, and thank you for being so kind to the show and to my character. And I can tell you on behalf of everyone involved that we appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.